Looking through the lens, opinions of three friends. Looking through the lens, sometimes they don't make sense. But, alright, welcome back everybody to another episode of Through the Lens. Today we're reviewing episode 4 of Loki 2021. Today we are here. I'm hosting today's episode, your boy Zephros. On my left we have a Patronus Gold.
Hey there.
And on his left we have a Sun Dude.
Hi!
Hi T2.
Hello.
Yeah, so what's going on this episode? Hey, oh fuck, click the wrong thing. But okay. Give me a second. Episode 4.
You got a second? Here's your second.
I got seconds. Alright, episode 4, the Nexus event. Nexus.
Yeah.
Nexus.
Next.
Synopsis B. Frayed nerves.
More like Nexus, am I right?
Shut the fuck up.
Afraid
Sorry,
nerves
no.
and paranoia infiltrate the TVA as Morbius and enter B-15 search for Loki and Sylvie. Top credits. This episode was directed by Kate Herron. Is that the same director as the other?
So? You know,
Written by Eric Martin, Michael Waldron, Jack Kirby, and Loki created by Jack Kirby. Starred by the usual people. So I guess we'll start with the acting, or not acting, impressions. What do you guys think about the this episode?
I think this was a fantastic episode. I think it starts off a bit weak with a bit of the excess baggage and stuff of the previous episode, which I didn't like as much as first two. But it builds, and it crescendos right at the end. It's fucking the ending.
Actually, a crescendo is a build-up of the. But yes.
Shit, I'm not intelligent, but Loki is. Loki's very
Yes.
intelligent. Good show.
A fortissimo.
Yeah.
What else we have here? Okay. Anything else?
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of this is kind of spoilery, so we'll try and keep it vague until we get to the spoilers.
Okie dokie, let's talk about some acting.
More like
shall
Loki Doki.
we?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry.
So, writing. It be writing.
Right in.
Writing. You mentioned a bit before. And then.
Yes. Same thing as I said before. The writing itself starts off a bit weak. There are a lot of weird pacing stuff for this episode as well. That kind of factors into that. But the ending and like the build up to the ending is really, really good. Like this, it's like solid shit. There, it's like it goes from being like last episode territory to like best episode in the series so far territory. That's kind of where this episode kind of feels like in between that sort of thing.
Like this, letting us everyone here do some early predictions here. Is it only going to get better from here or get worse from here?
This is like the peak of the show, right? Like the end of this is kind of like possibly to be the peak of the show, and then
Possibly.
considering the track record of the last Marvel shows, it's probably gonna get worse. But I don't know. Maybe this one will surprise us.
We've seen a fair bit from the trailers of what, from spoilers, and we're going to talk about what the post-credit scene kind of alluded to in the next episode being.
For sure,
So we will talk about it.
Surely, I reckon the next step. This is my predictions of structurally how the episodes work. Episode 5, it's going to explore a lot of the stuff we see on that post-credit scene, but it won't have like grandness to it. It'll just be like a fun episode with a lot of exposition, a lot of building up. and then the final episode will just be like basically a full like battle or some shit and resolution. Because that's generally the way these Marvel shows have been going. But how good that final resolution will be, you know. The show is
They're
really
making out
fucking
at the
short.
end.
It needs to be
That'll be the
longer.
ultimate resolution.
But like, we'll see. No spoilers. Oh wait, that's fine. That's fine. I don't know.
That's
who you're
just a
talking about.
prediction. But yeah.
Morbius and Loki will be making out.
Ah, yes, that's the ultimate one. They're
Yeah.
making that on a jet ski.
Yeah.
All right.
It's so fucking cold in my room that I can see my breath.
Maybe you're
Jeez.
so hot.
That's
Are you a
fucking-
frost giant?
Maybe.
You're just too hot, man.
I was also, I think in negative writing stuff. Okay, my door just opened. That was really creepy. They could have done more with one of the central storyline aspects. I'll talk about more in the spoilers. It's a part of that first part of this episode being kind of weak, and they kind of come back from it a little bit towards the end. But like, I still need a bit more there, and I'll specify what I'll talk about later. Also, I thought the themes in this episode of like trust and like love and like connection stuff was pretty good. Pretty good.
Trusting the trust.
It's not about the Loki, but the friends we made along the way.
Yes. It do be.
Also, it gets surprisingly emotional. So I thought that was kind of cool. All right.
Alright.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright.
Ooh. Let's talk about the cinematography. Pretty good as usual. Yeah?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Alright, and now let's talk about the visuals. Editing and visuals.
Pretty good, I think.
Pretty good, but there's
Yeah.
some really. I'll talk about the spoilers. There's some really strange CGI in this episode. I feel like you guys probably know what I'm talking about, but spoiler stuff there.
Mm.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. Then
A slight cameo from
Mhm.
from Serious Destroyer right now. He wants to say hi.
Okay, get in, boy.
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Series. Bye bye.
Yes. Bye.
Let's talk about the audio / music. We
I
got
thought it was really good as usual.
it was
yeah.
good, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Always gotta love the theremin solo.
Mm. Yeah. And you can talk about the meaning of that in spoilers. What you're telling me today, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, hello?
Speaking of which,
Speaking of which,
spoil is that.
Spoiler zone. I got a new toy.
Down.
General introduction. This
That
is
is-
Frozen 2 saxophone.
What happened to Frozen 1?
Cost $10 from a scam ripoff toy store.
Yeah.
Real stuff.
Very unfunctional.
Dysfunctional?
Dysfunctional. There we go.
Dysfunctional relationships.
Heck yeah.
All right. Before we go to theories, I'll just talk about like some of the spoilery stuff that I want to talk about more. When I was talking about bad CGI, like funny CGI, I was talking about the timekeepers, Mr. Lorax, Mr. Yeah, a lot of that. That's very wonky looking CGI, very noticeable. It was I was laughing when I was watching it. It was kind of funny, and the way they talked was also kind of funny. So I don't know.
Ah, yes. I am the timekeepers.
Yeah. Damn, Sonny, you voice both Miss Minutes and the timekeepers.
I am a man of many talents.
He's also starring in a film called Shanzi and the 69 Degrees.
You haven't
Mhm.
already heard.
Yeah.
Any any AAA companies want to hit me up? I'd be more than willing to take your money.
Yeah. Talk about like the pacing of the episode and how the start was kind of weak. There's a lot of build up in that end of the last episode, and it gets resolved super quickly. Then it kind of like slows down, but it's also going fast at the same time. Like that part's so fast, and then it slows down a bit with like interrogation and stuff. Something I feel like they could have focused a lot on more is the relationship between Loki and Loki. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but like you could definitely see it like being there when they just cut this.
Delicious. Crispy Mike.
Beautiful. Mwah.
All right, cut that part out. But all right, so
Just golden brown.
with the Loki and Loki relationship, I feel like you do see it there at when they're on that planet and they like hold hands or whatever.
Hmm.
But they could have fleshed out a little bit more because it's really interesting. Because this is a fucking weird relationship, Loki and a variant of Loki.
If you fuck yourself, is it incest?
Actually, if you fuck yourself, it's a Nexus event apparently.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my god.
That
This
did
reminds me
happen.
of a really dumb joke someone made to Daniel, our good friend Mixed, back in
Oh yes.
however long ago when he was in our school.
Yeah.
What's the joke?
I will tell that later because we might genuinely get demonetized from me telling that story.
All right.
I'll keep it in mind.
Moving on. What other plot stuff was there? Mobius's death. That was so sad.
No, Mobius. But with post credits, like lore, I guess, like general things, we might have an idea where he is.
Yeah. And like where the place where all the purged variants go or some shit. Yeah. Oh, also I just want to say, haha, I was right. It's a Wizard of Oz scenario.
I kind of guessed that was how it was gonna be, but
Yeah,
it was the actual Wizard of Oz.
maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, that's this episode. You want to do theories and stuff?
Yeah, sure. You can start us off, Jack.
All right. Big theory that I guess I'll subscribe to it. The Kang theory. So in the comics, if you may or may not know, our Slayer, Ramona Slayer or something, right?
Renslayer.
It's
Ramona Renslayer.
Yeah. She is the girlfriend, lover, something of Kang the Conqueror, the villain of Ant-Man 3. So, possibly Kang's behind this? Because she's
Also,
like totally in on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should mention as well that Kang the Conqueror is very likely to be your Phase 4 villain.
Yeah. Like your Thanos.
Thanos. Your new Thanos, yeah.
Yeah.
Epic.
Yeah, that's kind of that theory, yeah. You want to talk about
Epic Crispy Mike, but it's back. It's good, I think. No.
I don't know why Discord does.
Very interesting.
All right. You want to talk about your He Who Remains theory?
Yeah, it's still a little crispy, by the way.
That's fucking weird.
It might just be a mic issue.
Is it fixed now?
Keep talking.
Hello, hello, hello.
It
So, yeah.
fits.
All right.
So yeah, in the comics, the Timekeepers were created by He Who Remains. And to go into like a little bit of comic lore from Eric Voss, it was basically like there was a whole universe before ours, but like the universe died because of like time shit, and like I guess a multiverse chaos war and a multiversal war, that kind of stuff. So the entire universe was destroyed, but only one person remained, He Who Remains. And to educate the new universe about the failures of the old one, the Timekeepers were created, and the Timekeepers created the TVA, and that's how everything occurs in the comics. If He Who Remains happens to be like some, because if we already know the TVA is like a fraud, then it might be likely they twist He Who Remains into some sort of like weird villain who wants to like do something. Still very likely as Kang the Conqueror, but just to put it out there, He Who Remains is a canonical comic character.
Remains.
Yes.
Right. Any more spoiler stuff?
One more theory before we go into the post-credits scene. With the it could they do the thing in WandaVision where it's just like, Renslayer is probably working for someone like a Mephisto, but instead it was just Renslayer all along.
Seems unlikely purely because
Still thinking Loki.
she has like legit no character to her at all. If I'm being honest, she'd be like the worst villain. She's
Right,
very
yeah.
under.
I like how you said unlikely as if Loki.
And Loki.
Speaking of unfunny, me.
And me.
Yes. Dio funny though.
Yeah.
Mad fun.
Speaking of which, Dio,
What's poppin'?
are you doing your job as host?
I am doing my job.
He's jerking off.
Yes.
Final thing, post-credit scene. Do we want to talk about what it means? Like we saw alternate universe Lokis.
They in
I think
hell,
it's just purely where purged variants go
which is hell.
to some pocket dimension thing.
Yes. And in the background, it was like the destroyed ruins of New York City.
New York.
But we know now that it's not the after the first Loki invasion.
It's
because it wasn't Stark Tower.
It was Avengers Tower.
Yes. So
maybe Ultron.
Maybe Ultron, maybe Thanos.
Maybe it was 9
Yeah.
2.
Jeez.
Maybe it was 2012.
Well,
you know,
it would have to be
2012.
like it would have to be destroy an entire city.
Yeah.
A lot of planes. A lot of buildings.
Okay.
Oh, it could be like if any of you guys have read the actual Age of Ultron comic book, which is a post-apocalyptic story about when Ultron did win.
Damn.
So like, it's not unlikely that Ultron would have won.
But yeah, we see like OG Loki costume with Richard E. Grant.
Played by
Yeah. We also saw Kid Loki and Alligator Loki, Crocodile Loki.
I don't know.
The comics, it was an alligator. I don't
And
remember.
the Thor Loki. He has a name, but I can't remember what it was. I did a bit of research, but I forgot.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff. But we will see more. And in the trailers, we saw like what appeared to be the President Loki comic line.
Yeah, which is a series I've read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there were also like in the comics you could see like discontinued arcade machines. But oh no, it wasn't. It was like a whole like arcade machine which was suggested to have hypnotized whoever played it. And it was like this whole conspiracy thing, I think.
Oh yeah, that's what the...
Yeah, so that was in the trailer as well, with what assuming will happen this episode, but it was just like in the background. So I think there's gonna be like tons of Easter eggs like that, but yeah.
Yeah. Like what they did with Plane Dude.
Yeah.
Plane.
How do I always forget these people's names?
Cooper.
DB Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper.
Sheldon Cooper.
Sheldon Cooper committed airplane robbery.
Hell yeah.
He probably did.
Bazinga.
It's not shown this show. He did a bazinga. But yes, that it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on to the final verdicts. Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone who skipped towards the final verdicts. We're gonna give the verdicts for this one. We'll start with me. This is a cool episode. Had some cool moments, interesting stuff happening, some speculation. But it had some weirder moments, probably not weird, but just like could be better, I guess. A solid 7.5 out of 10. Actually, not 8. Give it 8.
8. For me, more or less on the same page as Dia. Very solid episode. I'd say it first, not quite half, but the first like 10 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes of this episode, not that great. Some writing issues there. Could have slowed down. Could have sped up some things. Could have slowed down other things. Some relationships aren't that well established. Other than that, everything else is really, really solid. I'm genuinely intrigued, and I can't wait to see the next episode. This one is going to be an 8.5 from me. Had the potential of going to a 9 or a 10, but just because of that, the first like 50 minutes.
I will
Let there be
then
light.
go for either an 8 or an 8.5. I'll go for 8.25. Right in the middle. Heck
Alright.
yeah. Combined average, sir, of 8.25.
Alright, guys, tell us what you think of this episode in the comments below. Give us a like if you like, give us a like if you dislike, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll be seeing you in the next episode of Freelance.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.